We
Wow.
actually had an awesome morning. I got a couple troopers. You know, they get on there, sound like they need to drink some Folgers. They need some coffee. They're like, good morning, Mike. We caught some nice pips. We actually traded the Nasdaq last
Really?
night. Yeah.
Okay.
So one thing that, well, I don't want to jump too far ahead, that most people don't understand with Forex is, currency, currency, currency. But
Mm,
it's a derivative, no different than trading the futures market in the YM, which is a derivative of the Dow Jones. So it's a lot
mm.
more flexible than people, I think, know. You think it's just currency, it's the dollar, the euro, the pound, but um, there's a lot more nuance to Forex trading or the spot market, and I think most of the public would actually know about it.
Mm. So how did you get into Forex trading? What made that interesting for you as opposed to did you have a previous life before you did Forex?
Yeah, before I did Forex, now I'm a kid from humble means. What my goal was to not be a statistic and wear a suit. I just wanted to kind of, I liked it to just dress like a grown man, with the tie on and be sharp. So I stumbled into banking with a colleague. Well, not even a colleague. A girl I went to high school with. She was my teller, and then one day I just happened to ask that question, like, "How did you get this job?" She told me how to apply, and I applied, and I saw like finance and numbers was always my thing in school. I was always a math guy. So once I got into finance, it was just like my world was blown because where I was from, they never really taught us about mortgages and investments and all that stuff. So when I got intertwined in like the financial world, that was my thing. I had securities
Mm.
license. I worked on Wall Street for a short period of time. So I just loved it. And I've always knew I'd never wanted a boss. Entrepreneurship was kind of like definitely bleeding into my blood. I didn't really like the corporate life. So after probably about almost 10 years in like banking and finance, investments, um, I kind of just quit. And then I was, bouncing around trying to figure out my way. And a random phone call from another person from high school was like, "Hey, you ever heard of Forex?" And I had some licenses, so I've heard of it, but I'm like, yeah, no one trades Forex. I know futures, I know options. And he was like, jump on a call, kind of like this. I jumped on a webinar. It was like 1,000 of us on there, and they're hyping us up. They talking real slick and fast. And similar, I think a lot of people who know Forex, it was a company that started with an I, it ended with an L. I won't tell people exactly. I won't give them any credit, but they kind of promised, I think, too much. And it was going to be easy. It was going to be quick. I could turn my this iPhone is going to be an ATM. I'm gonna make $1 million. Super simple. And you know what I mean? Simple, millions. I could get a Ferrari or a Lamborghini in 6, 7 months. So I jumped on it. And I just kind of stumbled and kind of fell in love with it. It gave
Mm.
me like the thrill that I had from banking, and I gave me the independence. So that was
Wow.
2017. And I've been with it since, and it's afforded me the life that I have now. I was really able to fire my boss and never really go back to work. I've been unemployable since what, 2021? So we're going on 3 years now. So hey, it's worked.
Wow. Well, one thing about Forex trading that I notice is that the management of your emotions is important with Forex. I mean, how does that feel just sort of dealing with the fact that and I think it's very realistic to say that, when you trade or et cetera, there are times where you make money, times where you lose money. What sort of feelings go through your mind when you're talking about how to sort of balance those emotions, not get too carried away either way, bad or good.
I think you actually hit the nail on the head. And I think what you just said was profound. Like if y'all didn't really catch that, you need to write what Boyce said. I think that is the misconception in trading in all. I don't care if you're trading futures or options. To me, there's three pillars to consistently profitability. Like you can win a trade. At the end of the day, winning a trade is simple. The market goes up and the market goes down, right? You're good at math. You're a professor. That's a 50% chance of winning. So technically, we could flip a coin, right? Heads is
Mhm.
go up, long, short, buy, call, whatever you want to call it, and tails is to go down. So actually winning is not hard, but what you stated is really, to me, the thing that makes retail traders basically the big boys lunch. take us. They look at us as food because it's our psychology, it's our mental, it's our approach.
Mm.
We try to be Barry Bonds, right? We're swinging for home runs, whatever trade we're in, like a Forex trade, rather than taking reasonable profits, we're swinging for the fence. I could even use last night. I was trading a derivative of the NASDAQ called the NAS 100, NAS 100. I'm long. Now, I wanted it to
Now,
move
just for
200.
everybody in here, long means that you owned, like you bought, you were a buyer, and then you were going to eventually sell. I just want to make
Well, I
sure
was going, I was
you don't
buying.
go over anybody's head with that. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, Boyce is right. I can't assume everybody knows. So long means I was buying it. I thought it would go up. And it was going up. At first, it was a little shaky. It wasn't moving, and I did have some psychological things. I was kind of, a little nervous on the position, like, is it going to go up? But I trusted in my position, and it went long. But my point is, I wanted 200 points, which is I'll teach you guys in another tomorrow. You come see me. I break all this down in great detail. It didn't go as far as I wanted to, but at the time it was like, do I bank my profits or do I allow a psychological thing like greed to stop me from putting money in my pocket? So I closed the trade and I went to bed. But the psychology to me is why 90% of traders lose. Like 90% of us lose because it's what we feel. Like it's the greed we have, it's the fear, right? False evidence appearing real. We put too much on one position, like there's no tomorrow, right? Today, I have to win $1 million or $1,000 or $2,000. So we try to win all of our money at that time. And what I found, even in my career, I had a very up and down beginning to Forex. And my mentor who taught me, until I kind of grasped the three things that I think are consistent, which is first is your mind and psychology. Like we always say, whatever's going on in your life, it shows up in the chart. Like if you're going through stress with your spouse, work, kids, or you just mentally in a funk, you probably shouldn't trade because you're going to most likely struggle.
Mm.
Like, trust me, I've gone through a lot. I've been divorced by now. So,
Mm.
it's going to show up because it's just mental. Then the second part is kind of what you said too with risk. Like, you have to take calculated risk. I call it probability and odds. That's all trading is. And then the third one is just discipline. Just like a diet. It's the beginning of 2024. How many people said new year, new me, right? We going to the gym. We're going to be in LA Fitness and Planet Fitness. And half the people, I go to the gym like 4 times a week. Half the people I saw all these new members, they gone. It's empty
Mm.
again. It was packed, 30 days ago. So those three things to me matter in making money in the markets as a whole, in any market. It's just if you can control those three things the best you can, I say control the controllable. If you can control the
Yeah.
controllable, the market is not controllable. You can't tell the market. We don't got enough money to push the market up or down.
Mm.
You on a bus. I always tell people, I just want to get on the back of the bus. Just
Well,
bring me to
what I
the destination.
what I notice is that when you talk about resolutions and stuff like that, and just the discipline of sticking to things, that's why we created this money consciousness, money in the morning thing. I said, in order for us to really stick with the things we promise ourselves we're going to do, we have to practice that and do that every day. And I also feel like just speaking on that idea of resolutions is interesting because you're right. 90-some% of all people that make a New Year's resolution don't keep it. So my thought is instead of making a New Year's resolution, just shorten it, make it a new month's resolution, right? So
Mhm.
it's March 7th, it's early March. So my question to everybody in here is what is your resolution for March? Not your resolution for 2024. What is your resolution for March? What is your resolution for this week? What is your resolution for today? Right. And when you
Love it.
constantly hit that reset button, it allows you to stay focused and stay disciplined on the things that you want to do. I have to make a promise to myself every morning, man. Every morning I have to get up and I think even today I woke up and I did not feel. And it's just we're talking about the topic of just mental discipline. When I woke up this morning, I admit I was laying there next to my wife. It was like warm and comfortable and everything, and I was like, oh, I don't want to get up. I don't want to do nothing today. And I said, no, that's not who we are. So Coach Boyce steps up and talks to Boyce that's laying in the bed and is like, "Now, who do you want to be today? What kind of man are you today? Because being the best, it doesn't mean you're always at your best. So understanding mentally what you have to do to get yourself in the right mindset is important. Like you watch football players before they play football, they get pumped up. they all, growling and barking and everything. And I think that, and so I listened to certain things, wrote down my goals, drew up some imagery, right? All these things can be managed, right? And so I think that with yourself, Michael, with Forex, I would say anybody who's interested. And by the way, everybody, I put the link to join Michael's free event tomorrow night. He's honored us with his presence in the Black Business School. So those who want to know Forex, I'm not the guy that can take you into that space. But he is, and he's into it, and you see the charts and everything he's got set up, and he's been trading all night. But generally speaking, Michael, it seems to me that similarly, when you talk about trading in Forex, it reminds me a lot of even when I play poker and things like that, where you have to really just make sure that you have your mind right when you make those decisions. When you stepping into the arena, don't bring a mindset that's going to lead to wealth deterioration. Like I find, and tell me what you think about this. Two emotions that I find are most devastating when you're investing or trading is are fear and greed, right? If you have
Absolutely.
fear
Ooh.
and you react out of fear, fear will kill you because you'll be selling stuff before you need to sell it, and then greed will cause you to hold on to a position too long and get burned. How do you deal with those two emotions just on a daily basis as a trader?
I like what you just said about getting out the bed. You can never, to me, completely eradicate them. It's almost like the healing, right? When people say I'm healing, are you really ever done healing, right? It's a daily process. And to me, what you just hit, woo, like I can sit here all morning and tell you horror stories about fear and greed. Like to me, I suffer from more greed, right? I'm greedy. I tell people, I was like, raise your hand. I testify first. I'm greedy, and greed was the thing that used to be. I was never afraid to press the button. I was never afraid to jump out the ship. I was afraid to, like what Boyce said, I need to stop. Like so, greed has always been the
Right.
killer to me to be successful. So those two emotions, I think the same thing you said. You have to get up every day and kind of like reset. Sometimes I just take a check. Like I wake up, tired, roll out of bed, but I know I have classes to teach and trade together with my group. So I'm like, I take my little minute. Sometimes I throw YouTube on and listen to a motivational song. If you're religious,
Mm-hmm.
maybe it's a gospel song. To me, you got to do what does, to push you there. Like even the gym. Sometimes I go to the gym, I hate it. I don't want to do it, but I know this is how my mental health and this
Mm-hmm.
is what helps me. So,
Mm-hmm.
like fear to me is almost the killer to success when it comes to trading. Like I have a course that I teach. I call it the 5 phases of fear in trading. And there are
Mm-hmm.
phases to it. I mean, we could get really deep into it. Like even our fear of like winning and losing is systematic. I mean, we were bred into the system. Like if you just think about being an American and go to school, high school, college, elementary, they want you to get A's and B's. You can't fail a test, right? You won't
Mm-hmm.
go to the next grade if your grades aren't good. So it builds in somewhat of a fear of losing, right? You have to be, right? I need a 3.0. I need a 4.0. I need to pass this. But we're all grown now. Where did our best lessons come from? Did they actually
Mm-hmm.
come from winning? They came from losing. So our lessons or losses or L's or whatever you want to say. So to me, the fear and greed, that's the market. What is the stock market? To me, it's kind of smoke and mirrors. It's built
Mm-hmm.
off of fear and greed. Like you do
Wow.
options. The VIX, right? The S&P 500, they got an index, call it. The nickname is
The
fear
fear
index, right?
index. Yep.
It's like they call it that on purpose.
Yep.
And that's
Yep.
what I was looking at last night. It was dropping, the market was climbing. That's why I was making money. But that's
Mm-hmm.
just because I knew the fear was dropping. Oh, you're not afraid today? Oh,
But
okay, you're not afraid today. I'm putting money in the NASDAQ. I'm going to trade the NASDAQ. But,
yep.
fear and greed that's all the market is. It's based
Bro,
off.
what's crazy is you can actually numerically calculate how fearful the market is, right? You and you
Mhm.
and, or the, and the way investors feel, whether they feel fearful or greedy, it shows itself in asset prices and stock price movements and derivatives markets and all that. Like we used to
Mhm.
mathematically calculate how afraid people were. And or even their propensity for risk. Like when we used to look at data when I was back at Syracuse and we would analyze data from different stock markets around the world, it was a well-known fact that Asian markets were different from American markets because Asian people love to gamble. They love not the
Oh, ooh,
stereotype,
yes, they do.
but they love the they love to sling the dice. So
They
so
pushing
what would
that
happen
pistol.
is when we would go in and do the econometrics and statistical analysis, we'd be like, man, what the hell's going on with these Asian stocks? Like they just be whop, whop,
Up
whop,
and
flying
down.
all over the place
Yeah,
because
yeah.
they have a different way of viewing risk than say Americans do or other countries. So let me ask you this. If I'm a person that's interested in getting started and trying to dig in and trying to figure out how to make this into some sort of a additional revenue stream for myself, what mindset should I have? It sounds to me like you were saying that you don't want to come into something like this. Seems like two things that you might agree with. Tell me if you agree with this. Number one, it's not necessarily a fast money venture, right? If you come in looking for the fast money, easy money, or just instant big money, well, a lottery ticket, this ain't the place to be. Also, it's a place where when someone's being honest with you, there's some chance that you could lose money but learning the skill of risk management and managing your money and taking calculated risk can help avert some of that. But just so to me, it seems to me that these are some of the realistic things you have to understand. It's not fast money. You could lose money, but there is the upside that's there as well, which might want make us want to do this. Can you kind of speak to that a little bit in terms of what my mindset should be if I'm a beginner in this thing?
Absolutely. So that fast money to me is the negative mindset that most of us are sold on. Like, even if I talk about the elephant in the room, right? Most people have probably heard some form of a headline that Forex is a scam, right? I don't even try to run from it. There's been companies last year, a prop firm company ran out of ran away with millions of dollars of other people's money. But to me, it's not a scam, just like anything else. Like if we say that's a scam, Bernie Madoff ran off with billions from rich people about a decade ago, if you still remember who he is.
Yeah.
So the mindset I say people to come into is a skill set. That's why I tell people I'm trying to build you to be a craftsman, a craftswoman, right? It's no different than being a mechanic, a lawyer, a professor, a doctor. You went to school, you learn a skill, and you get kind of like even if you have a degree, right, in anything, or you went to a trade school, you get on the job training. Like until you actually go to the job, that's when the skills develop. So that same mindset is the mindset I tell people to look at trading. Not even just Forex. I mean, Forex is just an avenue of trading. Forex, options, futures, it's all the same thing. The mechanics could be different. I might say buy, sell. Voices say call and a put, but it's the same thing. It's the market. It's trading. You have to look at it as a skill. Like me and Boyce was talking about poker, right? People look, oh, you're a gambler at a casino. No, there are actual people who poke. Like the poker players will go to a casino across the country, and it's like a job because they statistically do it. They know probabilities, they know odds, they know the river card, the chance that a king is coming out. So if you come
Mhm.
to trading, the same thing. It's not gambling. It's not a Powerball ticket. Yes, technically, mathematically, I can throw a whole bunch of money on one position and get lucky. And the luck could come and I can turn a position all the way into a lot. Like my best trade, it was what people made in an annual salary. Was it luck?
Mhm.
No, but I when you start to play around with these demo accounts and you see these zeros move, ooh, trading is addicting. That's kind of what stuck me. When I was playing around with $100,000 account, which I didn't have at the time to put in the account, and I would trade with these large dollar amounts, and I'm like, did I just make like one time I was trading, I made $120,000 phony money in 60 seconds. Like
Wow.
it was $100,000 in literally like a minute and a half, 2 minutes, and I just closed the trade, and I was like, my heart's pounding. You would think I almost was at like gunpoint. And I was like, I just turned 6 figures in minutes. But that's trading. It's realistic. So because almost anything is somewhat possible when it comes to money, you have to come in and kind of tamper those emotions. But if you just come in and want to work and get the skill, like that's what changed me. Like I had the gambler, greedy mentality, and my path took what 2 to 3 years to probably ever really get any real level of profitability. Um, and what I try to do is cut people's learning curves. I always tell people I took the A whoopings for you, right? I was Toby and Roots. I took the whooping. Why are you gonna take it with me? I took the lashings. Like I kind of know what works. You can listen to me, hard head make it soft, you know what. So if you actually come in, with that thought process of working, gaining a skill, it can change your life. It might, you might not be able to get a mansion from it, but it definitely, what about working Uber, replacing income, even paying like I always tell people, what if I was able to help you pay like Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, what,
Mm.
your utilities, UI, whatever your utility company. At first, build the skill set. Me and Boyce was talking about that before too. I read a book. A janitor would do dollar cost averaging, right? $5 a day in the S&P 500. In 10, 20 years, the man became a millionaire.
Mm,
It's because of
mhm.
that consistency, compounding, right? Einstein said, right? You compound things. If you can play the long game, and I think that I'm going to do mega millions in Powerball, trading, it can be extremely lucrative, extremely helpful, and just change the trajectory of your life. It's the mindset, the thought process that coming in. It's kind of like dieting, like I said. If you think you're gonna go to the gym in January and February, you're gonna have a beach ready body, you summer body ready in 30 days. It's not going to work that way. You got to put in 6 months, 12 months to lose the
Right.
20, 30.
It takes
You
work.
got to play the long game. It takes work. So to me, it's the same thing. It just takes work. And if you're willing to work, it's going to work for you.
Mm.
When you asked about losses too, so even when it comes to like losing and being able to make some money, I'm a probabilities and odds guy. I keep things simple. I believe in KISS. Keep it simple, stupid, right? That acronym has followed me since I was like 20. I don't overcomplicate things, and I know I'm going to lose. But if I keep my losses small and manageable, and I allow my winning trades to run and multiply and do 3x, 4x, 5x, that's how I make money. I've had one of my best students, who usually is the poster child for this company and even the company before that we used. Her name is Cherie Brewer. She won 34% of her trades. And if I ask most people, if I won 34% as a trader, would you think I'm profitable? If I ask you guys in the chat to answer me, most people are going to tell me no. The woman made $5,000 profit, winning 34%. I got a screenshot to prove it. I can show you her trade that she took, right? And I see some names in the chat like Nicole, Tony. I they know me. They've been in class with me before. Like, she is a monster. Like, the misconception of money is your win percentage has to do with your profitability. And I
Mm.
love to talk about these misnomers and just demystify trading. Because when I got into trading, even having the background in finance, I've always been somewhat intimidating. Like, the stock market can be intimidating, right? Wall Street, it sounds super, super hard, and it's not.
Mm.
We got to demystify it. Exercise the demons. Like,
Right.
it's not. We're going to it realistic, and we could make some money. We could change lives, and we've had changed lives.
All right, all right. Well, everybody, I put a link to join Michael's event tomorrow night. If you have an interest in Forex and learning from him, he is partnering with us in the Black Business School to launch our Forex Academy. So the link is in the chat. It's free. You guys can join us Friday night at 8 o'clock. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there just long enough to let him have the stage. Because the Forex is not so much my thing, but a lot of you requested it, so we delivered. And he's worked a lot with Courtney, who you might have known last year, who we worked with on Forex as well. So Courtney's still a friend of the Black Business School as well. So feel free to hit the link and join us tomorrow if you'd like to be there. And I'll say thank you, Michael Edwards. I appreciate you, brother. It was great to see you.
Thank you. I appreciate for the platform. You guys enjoy this, man. Pick that
All,
guy's brain. Pick
all
that
right,
genius. See you guys tomorrow night.
all right, brother. Well, you go get you some sleep.
Yeah, I'm going back to bed.
All right. All right, everybody. So let's get started with class in terms of digging into so one thing that came to mind that was really